What is happening, J Game Dude here, and this is the one time a month where I go off and actually talk about what I've played and platinumed for the month of April 2024. Well, I mean, April has already passed, but once a month, I go through whatever games I've played, platinumed, earned trophies for, and just kind of talk about them. Now, I think I might have already talked about Eri the Lost Hero last time around, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. I don't even know if I did a March video, I should probably double check that. But yeah, so what I've played in platinum for the month of April, we're going to start off with Alba, a wildlife adventure. This was a nice game. It was a nice short game about a girl who, travels to her grandparents' place that live on the small island, and you walk around with the camera and you start just taking photos of animals. And you learn about those sorts of animals as you take photos of them, and it is just quite nice. The game's trophies are only related to beating the story and none of the collectible stuff, so you could quite easily get all the trophies in like a matter of a couple of hours. So I did that for the PS4 version first, and then I did the PS5 version. However, worth keeping in mind that, saves don't carry over or anything, so I did actually do them. I think Alba PS4 took me 2 hours, and PS5 version took me maybe an hour and a half. I think, so 511, 622, so not even an hour and a half, less than that. It's an hour and 10 minutes really. Anyway, so, and worth keeping in mind, all of this is just me sort of cleaning up space in my PS5 to make space for more games. So we have Formula Retro Racing, another short, easy title, all about just sort of, finishing races, earning points, unlocking things, and that's really about it. There really isn't much to say about it. It's sort of like an arcade racer from the 1980s, except that it looks like it was made and, released in the 1980s. But the retro idea is the main thing that they're going for. It has a very unique feel or a distinct look to it, which I thought was actually quite fascinating. But yeah, nothing too fancy there. That trivia game is just a short and simple trivia game that is very outdated because it came out at the launch of the PS4. So I actually had to keep Google with me to get all the trophies in the game, specifically for the trophy called, where is it? Perfect Game, which requires you to answer every question in the game correctly. I would say Perfect Game is harder than Awesome Player because the only difference you would see is probably in how quickly you can answer the questions in the final round, as well as how many questions you bet after the first, as part of the last question of the first round. But yeah, that took a little bit of time to unlock, just to kind of figure it out. Next are a group of games that I absolutely despise, are god awful, and I do not recommend anyone ever buy. We have the Super Kids Racing, City Edition, Jungle Edition, Lava, Snow, and Theme Park Edition. These are god awful games, do not buy them. The only thing that the trophies ask you to do is to beat every level, all 10 levels in the game. So you don't need to win the races, you just need to finish the races. And the races are all 3-lap races. However, you can put more laps if you want to. But some races have laps that take 5 minutes each, and I'm like, why are the races taking longer and longer as time goes on? But yeah, that happens. And also, Lava Edition is hit with a particularly nasty bug. So, level 6 of this game, your car, if it touches lava, you cannot respawn. If you crash and flip upside down, you will not respawn. So because you can't respawn on that one very specific level, it significantly decreases the percentage of people who have earned all the trophies in the game. So I cannot recommend Lava Edition, especially because, again, it is an incredibly frustrating level to get through. Going through it not just slow enough to where you can complete it, but fast enough so you don't tip over and land in lava or put yourself in a position where you have to respawn but you cannot. Anyway, speaking of which, Warframe. Yeah, I finally got 100% completion of the trophies in this game, and the final trophy that I was missing was either maxing out my standing with the Vent Kids or maxing out my standing with Solaris I need to check that one actually. That's nope, I earned both of them within a minute of each other. Huh, nice. So Event Kids and Solaris, so that ended in the 4th of April, and I haven't gone back to it yet. So it's actually been almost a month since I've last logged into the game, which is actually interesting to see. But yeah, that was a fun time. It's a good game. Took me about a month and a bit to kind of get through most of the trophies, I want to say. Hold on, where's my mainline trophies in the game? 11th of March to like beginning of April, so less than a month actually. Yeah, probably about three or so weeks. But yeah, fun time. Warframe, third-person action adventure, free to play. Give it a try if you want to give it a shot. Nothing is too difficult. The hardest trophy in the game, in my opinion, would have to be hunting the Eidolon, which is somewhere around here in the Plains of Thing update. Plains of Eidolon update. Yeah, here we go. The Great Eidolon Hunt. That, to me, is probably the hardest trophy in the game, without a doubt. But yeah, you can kind of see, like, me being dead, and then... Granted, I'm not the only one who's doing it, but yeah, that kind of works out. I die immediately. But yeah, no, that was a fun time. Hell yeah, Octavia. That's my Warframe right there. Anyway, moving on from that. Post-Void. I have not 100%ed this game yet because I think I just need to beat the game. Yes. Beat Act 3 and beat the game. I am bad at first-person shooters. This is a high-octane, sort of ultra-violent shooter. I think I can probably... Actually, might be better off to show off some gameplay. So that's what the gameplay kind of just looks like. With first-person shooter, but you need to keep running to the exit. Otherwise, you will die because your health is in the little jar on the left. Or the idol is what it's referred to. And so the liquid runs out over time. And of course, so enemies are damaging you, but at the same time... So enemies are damaging you, but at the same time, the longer you survive, the it actually like decreases over time. So you have to kill enemies to refill the idol to then keep moving forward. An interesting game. You need to be really good at shooters to really be able to beat the game on your first go. But it's still a fun time, even though I'm not particularly good at it. Next we have is Four Kings Video Poker, which is just quite literally video poker. It took me a few hours to earn all the trophies. Yeah, a couple of hours, because a lot of these are quite grindy, especially stuff like getting 4 of a kind or better, which is incredibly difficult to do. I mean, I don't know how you do that, but yeah. I somehow managed it, and I'm not too sure how. But this is just me going through hands and hands, because you need to win, I think, about a good number of like 500 hands or something like that. So there is that too. So here I've got like 3 threes, and I'm like, there's no way I could get another 3. Boom, got another 3 for what are the odds? But yeah, so that was another one. I should make use of these like sort of videos that are actually part of the trophies and things. Mini Golf Adventure, a fun game that is not that well made, to be completely honest. It just requires you to play through the game and earn 120 stars. How to get stars? It's just like, oh jeez, this was... Right, so to get stars, you need to pick up these gems, and these gems can only be picked up using the ball. And on the right, you've got how many gems are in the level, plus how many shots you have remaining in that level. And in this game, if you press the X button, you can actually, stop the ball wherever you like, and that also includes just like in the middle of the air. So that's like what level 22 of this area looks like, for example. But in order to earn all the balls in the game, you need to earn 140 gems, 140 stars or something like that. So 120 for the trophies, but for this particular trophy, you do need to earn at least 140 something, 142 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but to that extent. But again, it doesn't take long to do. Ludo XXL. It's just Ludo. I was playing it by myself. I'm a lonely person, so let's just put it that way. Ludo is a board game that was requires you to roll a 6 to get the piece onto the starting point of your color. So we've got red, blue, black, and yellow, and then you have to make your way all the way around, and then when you're about to hit the square that's your starting point, you then need to go up the A, B, C, D sort of a finish point. So the 4 green points are the finish point, and the one big green circle, or the one big circle for that color, is the starting point. Mini Golf Adventure did that on PS5. I thought I could do Mini Golf Adventure, some game, and then Mini Golf Adventure again. This is me just clearing up space at this point. Cube Director's Cut is a first-person puzzle game in which instead of creating portals, you control cubes. So say for example this. So yeah, green ones, so like blue ones for example, you can just jump on and they'll push you out. Red ones, they just sort of come out. Yellow ones come out as like a actually, you know what, I'm just explaining the game. But yeah, so the idea is that like you can control cubes in order to solve puzzles and things like that, which is a neat idea. And Cube came out back in 2013, so they've released a 10th anniversary edition, which included additional trophies and a platinum. So for sure, I did do Cube 10th anniversary edition for both the PS4 and PS5 versions, respectively. Director's Cut is only available on PS4. And the games are easy as long as you follow a walkthrough, just in case if you get lost, but most of the puzzles are actually quite simple. Uno. Yeah, it's a card game. I don't know what to tell you. It's a fun time. The most difficult and annoying trophy, without a doubt, is going to be, well, not collector, because you need to earn all the other trophies to get that one. It would certainly have to be, if you don't like online games, it will be Socializer, but for me it was Nerves of Steel. This one took me quite easily the longest to earn. But yeah, I think he goes into a +4 and then challenges, and wins the challenge actually. That's interesting. Does another wild 4, and then I challenge and hopefully I win. Yes, so this was where I unlocked the trophy and won. But yeah, so Uno, card game, I don't think I really need to explain that. No Time to Relax is a board game about living life and doing stuff. I don't know how to explain that any further, so it's better to explain the gameplay, which is that you go from location to location, you then make use of each location. So you have a limited time per day, or per week I should say, because the clock represented below is kind of like how much time you have in your week. And so you've got different bars around your character's face on the top left hand side that shows your happiness, your academic level, your health, and how much money you have. And ideally you want to increase those as much as humanly possible. I was playing a solo game, but you can play with other people as well, so it's an interesting game. Very unique, for sure. Airy Calm Mind 4. So I was playing through all the Airy games last month. This time around, I thought I'll finish whatever I do have, which is Calm Mind 4, Flow of Time, Heaven and Hell, which are the newest Airy games. So I haven't gotten the newest one. I don't know if it has buggy or glitchy trophies, but I probably won't be grabbing it anyways. So these 3 games are just, you play as a bird, you fly around, you collect a bunch of items per level, and then you move to the next. Nothing more to it, nothing too special. Now, I've been talking about a decent amount of rubbish games, so let's talk about one that's actually really good. Inside, you move from left to right. That's all. You also solve puzzles, and it is interesting, and there's a lot going on. In fact, it's actually quite dark. You know what? It's made by the same guys who made Limbo, Playdead Studios, and Inside is an award-winning game that got showered with a lot of praise when it released at launch, so expect it to be good. I did boot up Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, but I never actually played any of it. I think I just kind of left it as is. Fruit Ninja VR, that was fun. Most annoying trophy, 100% would have to be Basket Case. I swear, I keep getting pissed off at this one. So the idea of Basket Case is that these things in the survival mode will throw bombs at you, and you need to throw a bomb back at it. Or throw a bomb at it so that it explodes. The problem with this trophy is that the physics are so damn wonky that it's not even funny. I just kind of like look down being disappointed at myself, thinking, God damn it, I thought I had it this time. Bounce it, and then boom. Finally got it. It took me ages to get Basket Case, by the way, but the only trophy left after this was Fruit for slicing of 50,000. Fruit annihilation. Kill 50,000 fruit total, which is the last trophy I had left, which I got that exact same day. I think 12th? Yeah, 12th. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, we're almost there. Panzer Dragoon remake. It's a remake of Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon, god awful game. This game took me forever because there's a trophy that asks you to have 100 plus hours in game. Never again. The game can be beaten in under an hour, so you know, I kept the game at the main menu for most of that 100 hours, and I made sure to close the game and reopen it because ideally you do not want to have God mode on when you're playing through and doing the 100-hour trophy especially. So just maybe play like the first level on easy to bank those hours that you spent on the main menu so that you can bring yourself up to that 100 hours. In Sound Mind is a first person... How would I even begin to describe this? It is a first person... Not even horror game, but like just a game in which like it's not a shooter either. I'm just constantly getting attacked by the enemies because my aiming sucks. And also the gun doesn't shoot that well and I need to conserve ammo, but I digress. It's a first person adventure game, I would say, with some combat elements. So I'm like walking through a pretty dark area trying to get the last collectible in the first chapter. But yeah. Anyway, the trophies are all about getting the collectibles, finishing the game. And there are a lot of collectibles and a lot of missables. So for this one, ideally, you might want to consider following a guide for this one. Except that earlier, because this game has been patched, some of the locations for some of the collectibles are actually in different places. So you'll need to follow two guides at the same time. But only some of them are affected. Duke Nukem 3, the 20th Anniversary World Tour, took me only like a couple of hours to get the platinum, or an hour and a half really. But it's still a fun time if you play God mode and just kind of run through the whole thing. It's a first person shooter in, you know, the same thing as like a, you know, the Doom mold and things like that. I mean, Duke Nukem is like a really old shooter franchise from like back in the day. So I don't know what else there is to really say about it. I mean, the gameplay kind of speaks for itself. Though there are no enemies up here because I like, you know. And that's supposed to be Serious Sam, by the way. So it's all made up of like references and things like that. Quite a bit of those in this game. Alright, we're almost there. Dead Effect 2. Dead Effect 2 is a free-to-play mobile game that is a first-person shooter that takes place in a mobile game. I mean, not in a mobile game. What am I saying? It is free to play on mobile, but you need to pay a few bucks for it on the PlayStation Store. This only is available in the US PlayStation Store that I've seen. I haven't seen any other places that have it. And the trophies are relatively annoying and are level specific for some reason. It's not all that good. In fact, it's actually pretty bad, to be completely honest, but it's... I don't know, I just put myself through it for the sake of getting rid of it, because this game alone took up like 8 gigs on my PS5, so that did create at least a decent amount of space. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. This is a racing game with the Nickelodeon characters. The game actually doesn't look very good. In fact, it actually plays really badly as well. And you're required to play through all the difficulties for... You need to come first and play through across all the difficulties. That's probably the most difficult trophy in the game, and you do need multiple controls for a couple of other trophies in the game. But that's besides the point. It's an alright time. It looks and plays bad, but it can be fun to an extent. Grid Defense 2. This one is just a tower defense game. I don't know what else to say. It's just tower defense. You need to play through like all 20 of the story missions, and then after you've played through the story missions, you then need to replay them with different rule sets and things like that in order to obtain 100 gold medals. Trophy wise, that's probably the most difficult trophy in the game, and probably the most time consuming at the same time. Next we have Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. This game pissed me off real bad. So you have to play through all of the missions, no, all of the Grand Prix Cups on all the difficulties, and there is a fourth secret difficulty called Insane, and Insane is absolutely buggeringly nuts. for sure. And in fact, the gameplay actually looks, plays, and it's just a hell of a lot better than the original. So this is actually a really good game, but the problem with it, and there are layers to the gameplay more so than ever before. However, my biggest problem with the game has always been how unfair the gameplay can become, especially on insane difficulty, which is, you know, kind of rubbish to be completely honest, but yeah, it does kind of suck. But the game does look and play a hell of a lot better, so it's actually a good game, just unnecessary difficulty spikes at the end. Jurassic Pinball. It's just a pinball game. It's got dinosaurs. Look, there's a dinosaur. Yay. I feel like I'm mentally losing it at this point. I played so many different games this month that I'm just like, okay. Anyway, I've got 249 platinums because I wanted to make my 250th platinum something very specific that takes a decent amount of time, or I don't know, actually, you know, mean something more than just me trying to get rid of, like, you know, make a few bits and pieces of space. Most of my time, however, this time around, well, not even most, but rather, I've been playing a hell of a lot of Genshin Impact. So actually, like Jurassic Pinball, I platinumed on the 25th. I am recording this on the last day of the month, so I have actually been playing far more Genshin than, like, most of these other games. So the idea is that I've been trying to get as many of the main game trophies, leaving me with just Down We Go 3, which is, I think, the only trophy that I'm missing yet for the main game, and then going through and doing all the Inazuma trophies, and just doing stuff like that, yeah. So hopefully I'll have some of these trophies, the Inazuma trophies, done, so I can start tackling the Sumeru storyline, which covers these 3 trophy lists, and these 3 are for Fontaine. So again, just kind of slowly tackling Genshin, sort of in the background, and now doing it somewhat actively at this point. But my 200th platinum is going to be something that I'm pretty sure I'll be talking about next month. But I'll have to wait and see when I actually get started on it, because some of these Inazuma trophies do take quite some time. But that's kind of what I played in platinum for the month of April. There was a lot. Actually, let me just count the actual games, because if I just start from the bottom and then just kind of work my way up. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I count about 35 games, because I'm not going to include Genshin in there. And maybe 34 if I don't include Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. But yeah, a lot of games to talk about. Not much more to say about it. So let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comments below, about games that I played, any questions that you have, because I didn't get into much detail since there's so many of them. But with all of that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.